Hello book lovers and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins and today I'm talking to Vikki Walton. Vikki is the author of children's book Will God Still Find Me? The book is a wonderful faith-based message for children aged 5+. Vikki decided to fund Will God Still Find Me through a Kickstarter campaign. We're going to talk about the book, of course, and the funding campaign. First of all, hi Vikki and welcome, and thank you for coming on Book Talk Radio Club.
Hi Claire, thanks for having me on Book Talk Radio Club.
My pleasure. Would you like to tell Book Talk Radio Club's listeners about Will God Still Find Me?
Sure. Will God Still Find Me is a rhyming story that's told through a child's imagination of trying out different things in life, and it shares the message that God is with us no matter where we go or what career we choose in life.
Okay, and at the beginning of the book you have a verse taken from Romans 8.39. And I'm going to read this out. I love this. High above the sky or in the deepest ocean, nothing will ever be able to separate us from the love of God. The verse is from the King James Bible. The book, as I said, is faith-based. Any particular faith, or does the message suit all faiths?
Well, the verse that you just read there is taken from the New Testament, but the message does suit many faiths that share the belief that God is with them. For instance, in Deuteronomy, and I believe in Hebrew it's Devrum, there's a passage that states, the Lord will order the blessing in every one of your endeavors. And this is what the book is about. Whatever you endeavor to do in your life, God's always going to be with you wherever you go, whatever you do.
Absolutely, that's what I've always believed.
Yeah, so it's I've had quite a few reviews that have also said the same thing, that it's pertinent to really a lot of different faiths.
Yeah, absolutely. So what made you decide to write a faith-based children's book?
Well, I am a Christian. My faith is a definitely important part of my life. As a young child, even now as an adult, I spend a lot of time daydreaming about going someplace or having some fun adventures like Brett does in the book. I think that's probably why I became a writer. I get to explore that imagination through words, and also why I love traveling so much. So I know that also, no matter where I go, that God is with me in all of my endeavors. So I wanted to share that with children.
It's a lovely thought. It's definitely lovely. So Brett is a little boy that has the adventures and asks, will God still find me? Who was the inspiration for Brett?
Well, Brett is actually my grandson. He just had his birthday a few days ago.
Oh.
Yes, and when I wrote the book, which was, now that I think about it, it's crazy, more than 20 years ago, I never knew the story would take so long to get out, but God's timing is perfect. I had a little late in life surprise blessing with my daughter, and she was an artist from the get-go, always loved art, and I just happened to stumble across this book that I had written many years ago, and now she's the illustrator.
20 years ago?
Yes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. So we were saying, Will God Still Find Me is a picture book, and the lovely illustrations are drawn by your daughter, as you just said, Jory Walton. Was it difficult or easy to work with your daughter?
Well, she's very talented, but it was probably harder on her than me, because she had to visualize what I had already imagined in my mind. She did tell me recently she enjoyed working on it and making the pictures pop and be interesting for kids, because her artistic style tends to be a little bit darker and leans more to like fantasy and science fiction.
Okay.
She said she would, the best advice she'd give authors and illustrators is to make sure that you and the author are on the same wavelength and stay in contact every step of the way.
Yes. I can imagine.
Yeah.
They're lovely drawings, really lovely.
Yeah. What was fun is she got to put in a couple of things. I wrote this book 20 years ago, and I had the zookeeper in there, and she was actually a junior zookeeper. And the Purple Mountain in the book is a tribute to where we live and where she grew up.
That's nice. I noticed on Facebook the other day you were reading to a group of kids at a school. How was the book received? Did the kids enjoy it?
Yes, it went very well. The kids really enjoyed it, and I appreciate the Burney Library letting me read there to the kids. So it was a great experience.
Nice. So let's talk about the Kickstarter campaign. What's the reason for the campaign?
Sure. Well, producing full-color hardback books is very expensive. We'd have to price the book completely out of the market, just to break even. So the campaign allows us to purchase in bulk, and that way we keep production costs down, which means we can also sell the book at a lower price and that means more kids can get it into their hands. So that's the reason for it.
As in all Kickstarter campaigns, there are prizes for people to pledge. What prizes are you offering? I know one of them is a writer's webinar. What's all that about?
Yeah, that's the great thing about Kickstarter. So you get rewards for the amount that you pledge. There's different rewards you can pick from. I added the writer's webinar because I often find people tell me that they've thought of writing a book. And the webinar is about writing, which we use in many different types of work and capacities. And I'll also be sharing some entrepreneurial and time management tips. So it'll be a good webinar for anyone that wants to learn a little bit about writing.
Lovely. There are quite a number of funding platforms on the internet. Why did you choose Kickstarter?
I chose them because that's what we hope to achieve. This campaign is to kickstart the book. There are other platforms that work for other fundraising activities, but I felt Kickstarter was the best platform for us.
Oh, fair enough. Well, that's a good reason, isn't it?
Yep.
Have you used a funding campaign for any of your other books, or in fact anything else?
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm actually a fundraising consultant, but this is very different from the fundraising that I'm used to doing. And the key difference is that with Kickstarter and other fundraising platforms, it's an all or nothing campaign. So if we get even $1 less than the amount that we're trying to raise, we receive nothing. This is the only book that I've done a fundraising campaign with. And so I did this to show that I'm committed to achieving this goal. So that's why we chose this Kickstarter.
The campaign comes to an end on the 1st of May. How's it going so far?
Well, so far we've raised $3,500, which is great, and it equates to about 120 books pre-sold, which is awesome. So I'm grateful for the people who pledged to our campaign. We still have a lot to go in the next week. And I figured out yesterday that I need 197 people. I actually needed 200, but I've already got 3 people to commit. So to contribute $25, and we'll easily meet our goal. Or one person of you out there could give $5,000. So when you think of that $25 per pledge, it sounds really manageable.
How do people find you on Kickstarter to pledge for Will God Still Find Me?
Well, the easiest way is you can go to Kickstarter and you just put Will God Still Find Me in the search bar, or you can go to my website, which is VikkiWalton.com. It's VikkiWalton.com, and it will direct you right to the Kickstarter page.
So tell me, what's been the hardest part of the campaign, and would you do it again?
The hardest part was asking people to pledge. I struggle with asking people for pretty much anything, and this has definitely pulled me out of my comfort zone. As for doing it again, I don't think we'll do it again, as I just needed to kickstart our first book. Then we'll be able to continue to finance it on our own.
And what advice would you give to an author considering a funding campaign for their book?
My top 3 things would be, number 1, definitely start early. I would say plan your campaign months in advance. It's a lot of work. So the more you do up front, the better prepared you'll be.
Yeah.
Second, educate people on the campaign. Some people aren't pledging until they get paid, and they still don't quite understand that it only comes out once the campaign is complete. So, for instance, if you make a pledge today, your card is only deducted after the campaign ends on May 1st and the campaign's successful. Otherwise, your card isn't charged at all. So if the campaign's not funded, also you won't receive any of the rewards that are offered.
And what advice... Oh, I've just said that, sorry. back to Will God Still Find Me. What are your hopes for the book, Vikki?
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down, but I think it's threefold. So one is that it encourages children, and even some teens and adults, if they read the book, to seek the life that they want. Too often we're forced into what we have to become versus what we want to become.
Oh, God, absolutely.
And, yeah, I want children to dream about what they want to do. Write it down. There's a place in the book for that, where they can write what they want to be and date it, and set their sights on it. You know, when my daughter was very young, she wanted to be an artist, and I've encouraged her in achieving that dream, and now she's rocking it. So I want parents to do the same for their child and to encourage their child to dream big.
Good for you. I like that. I definitely like that.
Yeah. Also, the second part is, so there's like kind of 2 pieces to the book. The second part is that this world sometimes can be a scary place. And I want to supply hope to these children that God is always going to be by them no matter what. And then finally, on a selfish note, I'd like the book to get funded so we can get it produced and out to market. And that way my illustrator can get the money she needs to pay for the rest of her college. And possibly parents of college-age kiddos will understand where I'm coming from on that reason.
Absolutely. Any more children's books on the horizon, or will this be the one and only?
Well, I actually wrote a few other children's books around the same time I wrote this one, but I'm not sure when or if those will be produced, as I've got a new mystery series that I'm working on right now, so we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Right. Lastly, where and when will Book Talk Radio Club listeners be able to purchase Will God Still Find Me?
Right. Well, because it is being run through Kickstarter, you can only get the book if the campaign is successful. So once the campaign's over, then we'll figure out our next steps. However, I do want to offer an exclusive gift for Book Talk Radio Club listeners. Anyone who goes to our campaign page and pledges $25 will receive access to the webinar that I just talked about, the writing webinar, an ebook copy of my best-selling vocational guidance book, which is called Work Quilting, Piece Together Diverse Income Streams, Live an Insanely Awesome Life. This is for those out there that are still wondering what they want to be when they grow up. And then you'll also receive a copy of the Will God Still Find Me book.
Fantastic.
So they can go to the Kickstarter page and pledge it there, and it'll say right on there that there is a Book Talk Radio Club reward.
And I will leave the link at the bottom of the post when I do them, so that everyone will be able to get to it pretty easily. Well, thank you, Vikki. That was fascinating. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club again. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, good luck for the campaign, and thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you very much, Vikki.
Thanks, Claire.
Okay now, bye.